Hello and welcome back to G-Star, Korea versus the world. Current score 2-0 to Korea.
Yeah, the world's not having a good day right now. Korea are absolutely dominating so far.
And we've made it pretty clear, like we are going to be slightly biased towards the world.
Not for much longer if this carries on.
Because the crowd here is biased towards Korea.
Yeah, if Korea get much further in front, I'm just going to switch sides sharpish.
Like Surrender will have done?
Yeah, like Surrender would have done. He was consoling Zixo a minute ago, but as soon as he leaves that room, he'll be like, yay, Korea, sure.
So our figure just moving in front, that's always fun. Yeah, so two really great series in so far. That last series could not have been closer. Zixo winning the first game,
right,
like by the skin of his teeth, and then losing the last one in the same vein.
Yeah, Darby really timed the end there, kept those equalities and the double clear all game, and just used them at the right time, calculated the fatigue properly in a way that only casters and Trump can't, and that was the end of that. He just got that sorted out. But now we're going to go on to Samdi versus the reigning world champion, Pavel.
Oh, reigning world champion indeed. And as we said earlier, we will say this again, we know that there'll be more people. Apparently, there have been people in the Korean stream ushering like English-speaking viewers into this one like over the course of the day. So not all of you would have been here at the start, but we have said we'll be calling Pavel the reigning world champion as much as we possibly can while he is
Yeah,
the
he's
reigning
requested that we keep mentioning the fact that Pavel is the reigning world champion for as long as possible. And so we'll probably keep doing that until Falk's ears are burned out.
Rip headphone users.
So, our notes on Samdi. I'm going to keep all these notes together. We're going to need them all again tomorrow. So, the last player, Darby, was a rookie.
Yeah.
Samdi apparently is a super rookie. Does that mean he can fly?
Super rookie? No, okay.
He's also a Twitch streamer, by the way, so
okay.
Maybe he really is just a bit of a meme streamer who's got through. He got through in style, though. He won 16 matches. He won, 12 and lost 4 matches. So that's absolutely fantastic.
Did he play anything particularly interesting?
Pirate
Warrior?
Control Warrior in one of them and Pirate in another. Control Warlock. Secret Mage.
Quest Warrior.
Evolved Shaman. Whether that means Token Shaman, I don't know. Frostlet's Jaina Mage. Big Druid. He's played everything apart from Priest, Druid and Rogue.
Well, apart from the random Pirate Warrior and the random Evolved Shaman, everything else is control-y. Quest Warrior.
Yeah.
Secret. Oh,
there's
Secret
Big
Mage.
Druid. But yeah, it's basically.
Okay, everything.
It's all
everything.
off meta. He is a super rookie, so he's a streamer, so yeah.
But no Priest.
No Priest, Druid, or Rogue, apart from one Big Druid in 8 decks.
Well,
yeah.
that is a surprise.
Yeah,
that
so he is the super rookie. I wonder if Pavel's going to be his kryptonite.
Pavel is not a super rookie.
He is the reigning world champion.
Did we mention that?
Not yet, but we will.
I don't. Where the players are sat, can they actually see each other? I don't think they can.
I don't think they can. I think one's that way and one's that way.
So we're not. Oh, they're actually either side of us.
I think so.
So we're not going to be seeing the Pavel glare today.
I mean, he'll probably still glare. He kind of glares anyway.
Pavel's great. Pavel is like hilarious when you talk to him backstage. Really friendly, funny guy. And then when you put him in front of his opponent, I wouldn't want to face against Pavel in a game of Hearthstone. I really wouldn't. Yeah. It's kind of like
now
that.
I know that Falk doesn't like that. I'm just going to do it to him all the time.
Can you keep the camera on us, please, for as long as possible?
Keep feeling unsafe around there? So, yeah, it's going to be a little while. I think we are stalling for time. I'm not sure exactly. Again, we are in the arena next to the Korean streamers. Obviously, we're in Korea. The focus is on them. And so we're following their lead, and we have no lead to follow.
The other thing that we should probably tell you is that we have been told that at some point soon, we are going to have to go to a short break in the middle of this series and come back 20 minutes later. I don't know why, I don't know when, but that's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, it's to do with spectators and how the arena has to change shape and size and something. Anyway, there's Samdi, looking good to go. Obviously, if you're a streamer, I think you have a bit of an advantage the first time you ever play over other people who've never played before, as you're naturally used to some sort of audience.
Yep.
91%, 10 wins, 1 loss. That's slightly different to what I had there. That is insane.
There he is. There is our world champion, Pavel. Having a bit of a disaster with his headphones at the moment.
He's got a second name. I didn't know that.
How do you say it? Belchikov.
Carefully.
Okay. All those first places next to those achievements. Hearthstone World Championship there at the bottom, first place. That's, I don't know, if I was Pavel, I'd want that one at the top. In fact, I think I'd want that to be the only one.
Yeah, I don't care what else I want.
Just
I want the
bold.
World Championship.
Current Hearthstone World Champion.
Yep. We have 2 potential World Championships in Hoy and Orange in this event as well. Hoy's not in anymore. Pavel with a normal lineup. Samdi, he just doesn't like priests, druids, and rogues, does he?
That is unusual, to say the least.
It is, but it's got him this far. What are we expecting? We're expecting Control Warlock. We're expecting Control Warrior. We're expecting who knows what Shaman. Evolve and Devolve Shaman.
As we said, he's played Quest Warrior, but he's also played Pirate Warrior. So I don't know what to expect from Samdi.
And that'll be why he's doing so well. But Pavel will be a man who is pretty good at trashing bad lineups. So if Samdi brings anything too off the wall, he will be in trouble. But if he brings good decks and plays them well, we just saw that with Soldarby. He was fine. He played his decks extremely well. Maybe it'll rub off on Samdi, the super rookie, as we are being told.
Well, I think that we are ready just about to jump into game number 1. Samdi, the super rookie, versus Pavel, the world champion. It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
It doesn't, as the smoke goes up a little bit more expected this time. And off into game 1. And you're right, it does not seem fair.
I wonder if maybe we're not giving Samdi enough credit.
I've got a sheet written by Koreans that says he's a super rookie. I'm not going to give him any credit at all.
But
of course I am. He's 91% win rate.
Does that mean he's more of a rookie or less of a rookie?
It means he can fly. I'm sure it does.
Okay.
That's why I'm just sticking with that.
What is that Malcazar's imp doing?
I don't know, but that's a Quest Warrior. As the imp was just turning circles and generally being annoying to the world.
Oh, okay. That really confused me for a second there, because the quest wasn't appearing in the hand. It had already been played, and it was...
Right.
So I was wondering if it'd been mulliganed away for a second, but no, okay. All right. Normality has been restored. Samdi just needs to buy time. Pavel is not going to give him time, though, playing as quickly as Zixo was playing earlier.
And Samdi is doing the thing I was on about, where he's playing his fast back. He's not going to let Pavel outspeed him, and that could be a problem for Samdi. As you can tell, our information that he's a bit of a memer is definitely right. He's talking to himself, he's waving his hands around. I think he might be singing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I know you like to sing while casting sometimes.
I definitely do.
Give us a song?
No.
Okay.
Did you like it?
Sure.
All right, so Pavel has generated a broken game.
Unfortunately, the patches pick up. Does mean he can't get as many minions on the board as he may have done, but the Councilman gets buffed enough to take out the Acolyte in one swing. He is really laying down the law so far this game.
Yeah, no indication yet as to his build either. These are all staples in all versions of Zoo. You don't have to play Captain. A lot of people do, but we've seen how many crawlers there are. Maybe you don't. You can play Fledgling. You can play Blood Imp, we've seen in some. We've got no indication which way Pavel has gone with his build. What we do know is Samdi has very little to do about this.
Oh, execute so soon on the Councilman is kind of rough. You can slam away one of the other minions as well. I guess it's not the end of the world. He'd love a Brawl right now. If he could coin Brawl, that would work.
He would love one. He hasn't got one, though. Samdi taking a moment. Memes or not memes, he definitely wants to win this huge sum of money on the line. $18,000+ for the winner of this event. And a lot of the money is in winning your first round.
Yep. As we've established, Zixo and Hoy probably a little bit disappointed with this trip. They've come a long way to go home with less than $1,000.
Yeah, they really have. And Pavel will not be wanting to join them. There's the brawl, so he might be joining them. Samdi being greedy, as you have to if you're going to win with Taunt Warrior sometimes.
Yep.
Has he played a single Taunt minion yet? Do you remember?
Nope, I'm pretty sure that says 0 still.
Oh dear. So that's the problem if you don't deal with it. Zoo can keep coming at you.
Slay with the Fishes is looking very okay at the moment.
It is.
He could coin out the Blood Razor instead. Maybe hit in again next turn, and then play Slay with the Fishes.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking about.
But I don't know, playing it right now does take a lot of damage off the board. It also plays around Doomguard because you'd kill the Malkazar's Imp.
I can see, by the way, why Samdi's a streamer is I just ignore your actual analysis. He's very, very colourful character. We can see this already. Yeah, so lots of ways he can actually save the brawl.
When you get used to streaming in a particular way, like if you do stream very animated, it can actually be quite difficult to play Hearthstone without that animation.
Right.
So I think he's doing the right thing. Maybe even by pretending he's streaming, like to himself, pretending that he is actually streaming.
I see. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. And it's like I keep saying, it's worked for him this far. 10 round wins, 1 round loss getting here.
Playing around the Doomguard with the Sleep with the Fishes, like we described, looks like that was the correct play, because now, although Pavel can still play one Malkazar's Imp and the Doomguard, it's not quite as powerful as it would have been. He's not going to go with that play though.
Does get the captain, but obviously Patch is already gone. Just so we know the build. And commences more beatings. But this is a hard matchup for Zoo, but Pavel is in an okay spot with it.
He's just aggressively battling for the board, playing very, very quickly and doing a good job so far.
One of the ways he can get this done is by getting both Doomguards down before drawing his Gul'dan, and then using the Gul'dan for like 10 burst damage. That's the way you can sometimes get through, but all those taunts in the way. And as he has Captain, there's probably no place for Spellbreaker in his deck.
It's difficult to judge. I mean, not every Zoo is running Gul'dan at the moment. I know that Sotul doesn't like Gul'dan.
A lot of people don't like Gul'dan, but I think when it comes to it, they usually end up playing it. Because when you try to find what your 30th card should be,
yep,
you go, damn it, it might as well be Gul'dan as not.
Yep.
But it isn't the greatest card ever. A lot of people are playing like tempo-y decks, and you just don't get to turn 10, or you've discarded it because you're playing Doomguard so urgently.
There's the second Doomguard. If Pavel played the first one last turn, he'd have drawn the second one. He'd be playing that this turn.
So your two choices are to tap and play Doomguard and hope for the 50-50 goes your way, or to play Malkazar's Imp and Doomguard and just give up on the second one.
Or play Bone Mare.
Or play Bone Mare.
Bone Mare is actually a quite healthy looking third option.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's weak to execute. It's a little weak to Brawl, but there's not much you can do to play around Brawl at
Yeah,
this
he's going
point.
to go with Bone Mare. And delay the Doomguard decision. The reason I'd start getting the Doomguards down as quickly as possible is just because of Gul'dan, but like you say, maybe he's not playing it.
I liked playing the Doomguard the turn before that, but I do not want to question Pavel.
Pavel's ordering of turns is quite often very interesting. He does play more aggressively early than most players. I've seen him do things on turn 1 in some decks that other players wouldn't do, so he likes to get that damage in.
It's like he plays matchups in a way that a lot of people haven't realized is good yet. Because he wins, so he wins consistently.
Samdi just not got the right tools for the gig
Well,
right now.
Brawl Execute might be the right tools as long as Bone Mare doesn't survive the Brawl. In fact, even if Bone Mare survives the Brawl, Brawl, hit face, execute, it does work. But it uses up all his removal. At the same time, I don't think that matters so much. He's got 2 Primordial Drakes to play afterwards.
Yeah, there is the Bone Mare.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the execute, okay.
Okay, so Pavel will be looking to win this with Gul'dan in a few turns' time. That involves having it and not having discarded it.
Imp tap Doomguard, maybe? Oh, obviously you tap first.
Yeah, and he is going to imp.
And he's fishing for Gul'dan if he runs it. Then
Okay, so he doesn't get what he wanted there. He wants to keep the other Doomguard, obviously. Does pick up a Soulfire, though.
that's pretty good.
And Samdi's very low now.
Doesn't matter what Samdi plays, that Soulfire can connect to the face, and that Imp will draw another card.
Yeah, he may choose to wait with a Soulfire. Let's see what he draws, though.
He can Soulfire the minion, trade the Doomguard, and then just fill up his board again.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it's not what he wants to do. There's a side sort of shows there, but it's what he has to do.
Oh, that's the rough trade.
Tap, try and hit the other Soulfire, doesn't get it. That would have been a heck of a hit if he gets the other Soulfire there. And now he's got this kind of messy board. And he's going to get hit by this second Primordial Drake. Deciding, you've seen one, it shouldn't have the other. But that card's been in the hand since the start of the game. I wonder if he'll just tiptoe around it slightly. Yeah, he just a very slight nod there by keeping back the slightly bigger
keeping the
minion.
Flame Imp, yeah, okay. Drake still deals a lot of damage here, though. It wipes out almost the entirety of Pavel's board.
Yeah, Pavel's not impressed at all by this. And now he's got to find... I think he's got to find Gul'dan to have any chance. Keleseth's just not good on turn 10. That's why Miscall is not good, because you play it too late.
Well, it buffed that Blood Cell. So, there's that.
So, trading in the 1 health guys, because they're going to die to Whirlwind effects so often. But there is now currently... I mean, there's no emergency because Samdi can just keep playing big taunts now.
Samdi 3 now out of 7 with the Curator. Galactic Crawler does some work.
Korea looking like they're going to take a lead in the 3rd of the matches so far today. They haven't lost one yet. Hoi lost 3-1. Zixo lost 3-2. And Pavel looks like he might go 1-0 down here. Gul'dan can still change it.
Gul'dan would be massive if Pavel could only draw it. Still not quite lethal. Samdi's really close though. Blood Razor can deal with the 2-3, draws a card.
Oh my goodness.
4 damage at least going face in.
If he wants it, which he probably does, but he may not want to take the damage himself as well.
That's true.
He's got to be a bit scared of the re-swing here.
Ravaging Ghoul kills the Flame Imp, then he can still make the trade. He can clear everything.
He's just got to play around Gul'dan being top deck because the Doomguard in the death pile.
Yeah.
If he plays around that, then he's good.
It's very difficult to play around Gul'dan though. Still feels very much like if Pavel draws it, he wins. He gets taunts, he gets Doomguard. Oh, Bone Mail on its own is not enough. There's Gul'dan!
Oh no!
2 mana too little, Pavel has to concede. Samdi takes game number 1. Our super rookie.
Super rookie 1-up, and he is well happy with the situation there.
And we have received a signal. So unfortunately, we are going to have to take a very short break from this series.
Yeah, we'll be resuming it in a few moments' time, so stay tuned and we'll see you when it comes back.
oblivious. Everyone acting so frivolous. I might run up and click. It is a ultimate marathon from the land, which is the city of Babylon. Want you like Sun Tzu, so better be humble. Don't bet me, I'm Wesley in the art of war. So sending them will be flying. Truth, and in them I will be lying. Raw, ain't no Hakuna Matata. Cause you shouldn't fuck with a lion.
당신의 피부는 거짓말을 하지 않습니다. 100% 천연, 유기농, 자연주의. 많은 광고들이 당신을 사로잡습니다. 하지만 피부는 거짓말을 하지 않습니다. 전 세계가 주목한 95% 천연법. 이제는 진짜 천연 화장품을 만나야 할 차례. 아이부터 어른까지 수아비스 화장품.
DJ Max, respect.
부산정보산업진흥원은 지스타 개최, 부산 글로벌 게임센터 운영 등 첨단 게임 산업 조성 및 육성을 통해 게임 친구 도시 부산이라는 꿈을 실현해 나가고 있습니다. 열린 창작 공간, 입주 공간 등 아이디어를 가진 누구나 창작 활동을 할 수 있는 부산 콘텐츠 코리아랩과 녹음 부스, 마스터링 룸의 최첨단 시설과 장비를 보유한 부산음악 창작소 등 창의적인 환경 조성을 통해 부산의 문화 콘텐츠 산업의 경쟁력을 키워가고 있습니다.
everyone acting so frivolous. I might run up and click. It is up on the marathon from the land, which is the city of Babylon. But you like Sun Tzu, so better be humble. Don't bet me, I'm Wesley in the art of war. So sending them will be flying. Truth, and in them I will be lying. Raw, ain't no Akuna Matata. Cause you shouldn't f with a lion.
당신의 피부는 거짓말을 하지 않습니다. 100% 천연, 유기농, 자연주의. 많은 광고들이 당신을 사로잡습니다. 하지만 피부는 거짓말을 하지 않습니다. 전 세계가 주목한 95% 천연 원료. 이제는 진짜 천연 화장품을 만나야 할 차례. 아이부터 어른까지 수아비스 화장품.
DJ Max, respect.
부산정보산업진흥원은 지스타 개최, 부산 글로벌 게임센터 운영 등 첨단 게임 산업 조성 및 육성을 통해 게임 친구 도시 부산이라는 꿈을 실현해 나가고 있습니다. 열린 창작 공간, 입주 공간 등 아이디어를 가진 누구나 창작 활동을 할 수 있는 부산 콘텐츠 코리아 랩과 녹음 부스, 마스터링 룸의 최첨단 시설과 장비를 보유한 부산 음악 창작소 등 창의적인 환경 조성을 통해 부산의 문화 콘텐츠 산업의 경쟁력을 키워가고 있습니다.
For Korean players that have qualified, 4 invitees. It's Korea versus the world, and so far Korea not only winning by 2, but they're also beating Pavel.
Yeah, and they're beating Pavel. That was quite an easy game there. They didn't even have a great start there. Pulled off enough ways to clear boards, and that was the end of that. 1-0 to Samdi, the super rookie, as we've been told, whatever that means.
It's so unfair. I mean, okay, so it's unfair on 2 fronts. If he is a super rookie, like if he is, I don't know, what another word, noob? Is that another word for super rookie? If he is like that, then it's so unfair that he's against the current reigning world champion. I don't think he is a super rookie. I actually think he's quite good based on how he's qualified and his performance against Pavel then. So in that case, it's pretty unfair that we're calling him a rookie.
I do think it might just be a way of saying he's a memer, because he hasn't played Druid, Rogue, or Priest in any of the qualifying rounds or in this.
Maybe
That to me screams super rookie.
maybe they wrote their own bios, and he saw the other guy put rookie, and he thought, well, I'm going to put that I'm a super rookie.
Whereas Pavel's just would say, current reigning world champion in massive capital letters, and it doesn't.
Well, that's true. That's true. But yeah, no, you got me there. You got me there. It does say that he is the reigning world
So
champion.
Pavel has a normal lineup here, literally with Zoo as the fourth deck. We think, obviously class-wise at least.
Yeah.
Samdi, just looking down here again because I've lost it on the page, I'm afraid. Yeah, he has got Warrior, Shaman, Warlock, and Mage. It's just who needs the regular classes. And we know in qualifying he played Control Warlock.
Okay. The Warrior was Quest as opposed to Pirate, which is another one that he's played. Also, as opposed to Dead Man's Hand, N'Zoth Warrior,
Right.
which we've seen Zixo playing. It's been a weird day.
It's been a really weird day. Just when you think a meta's settled, we're 2 weeks away. Well, we're not. We're like 4 days or something away. What's the date? 16?
Oh yeah, of course.
We're
More
3
cards.
or 4 days away from more cards being released for the next set or being previewed. And we're still building the old meta. Can we slow it down a bit?
If we can just quickly flash back to the Ungoro meta for a second, Evolve Shaman came really late.
It did, yeah. It did. But this meta, I mean, I never thought I'd be asking, hey, let's not have more cards for a while, but I almost want another week or two of this to see how it settles down.
I think we've still got plenty of time before we actually get the next set.
I knew Falcone would want the cards as quickly as possible. We all
I want the
do,
cards,
really.
I want the cards. I don't know what's happened, by the way. Like, I'm not entirely sure why we went to that break. What I can tell you is that our audience has disappeared. I think there was some
They
sort
know
of...
they've won.
They know they've won, so they've gone home. They'll want to be back for the finals
Yeah, I
tomorrow.
think there's some sort of deadline.
But
Is just going to interrupt
yeah,
you again.
I think the arena started closing down a little bit, but that doesn't mean the game's come to an end. We've still got the rest of this series and one more series to go through. And I'm looking forward to this. But I'm going to just outright say, I want to see Pavel win this.
I've got to admit, I mean, I'm not as biased as Dan, because I've always sort of done a lot of APAC casts and stuff anyway.
APAC Dad.
But I would like the rest of the world to win both of these last two matchups so we get a final of Korea versus the rest of the world. The one condition I will say is that as much as I like Orange, if Kranich gets the final instead of him, we're going to borrow him as a Westerner.
Sure. I don't think that counts, but sure. All right, well, it looks like it is going to be a Control Warlock from Samdi. We've seen Medivh the Guardian. There's Mistress of Mixtures, etc., etc. Pavel's going to play his Zoo one more time. Let's see how this goes.
걱정하지 마.
Looking like a Zoo mirror, but we do know that it's not looking like a Zoo mirror at all. There's a Siphon Soul in hand. It is going to be the Control Warrior. There's a Mistress of Mixtures, and it's all about if Samdi can control this. And I think he might have a good chance.
Yeah, it's very anti-aggro, similar to how kind of Zixo's lineup was looking anti-aggro. It's a good matchup for it. We've got the Galactic Crawler, which is going to deal with Pirate. If Samdi if he gets lucky, it's going to deal with a South Sea Captain.
Right, absolutely insanity here. We've seen Amnesiac playing a heck of a lot of Control Warlock recently.
Okay.
In his own weird style, but he's been playing a lot more minions than most people, with like Corpse Taker and some life gain.
Sure.
I don't think we'll see that here, but we might. But one of the things that Amnesiac's been doing is emphasizing how much you don't tap as Control Warlock.
Interesting.
If you've got enough cards and they do stuff,
Yeah.
stop getting more cards.
Okay.
You're hurting yourself and you're doing no more on the board.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with tapping here, but you're not fueling a Twilight Drake anymore. You're not fueling Giants anymore, so you can afford to tap a lot less than most people would. If you're watching Amnesiac stream, he does things that are terrifying. He stops tapping with 2 mana and passes turn. You're like, I want you to tap on 24 health.
Does it hurt your OCD?
It really hurts
Spend the
my,
mana.
like, it'll hurt Twitch chat because they'll be saying tap last, and there won't be a tap at all.
Yeah. All right, well now Samdi does have things to do. Stonehill Defender, not that many great options you can get as a Warlock. However, Primordial Drake and Sogoth the Slitherer, even Psychotron, these aren't bad cards.
saying this one earlier in one of the matches earlier today, you've got to decide how long you think this game's going.
Yep.
You want that sog off. Are you safe to turn 9? If you think you are, then go for it. If not, take something a bit earlier. He does go for the Primordial. Feels like he might need another board clear come turn 8 and so on.
Okay, now some pirates are going to come down. Interesting that Pavel didn't go with the captain immediately. He's going to get rewarded because I imagine this will bait out Galactic Crawler.
Yeah, it looks good. And gets the board going into turn 4, and he'll just be hoping there's no Hellfire.
Yeah.
And there isn't.
Or,
there's nothing.
Or some sort of like Mortal Coil Defile or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking good here. I mean, the Crawler's going to be a pain, but it's not going to be a disaster, I don't think.
It's not quite back-breaking. The Councilman stays up. There's nothing that Samdi can do about that.
The real problem here for Pavel is he's done 0 damage. And Samdi has all his late game ready. If he can just survive.
Does Samdi have to tap here? What would Amnesiac say?
What would Amnesiac say? What would Amnesiac do?
I'd say that was a fine tap still. Yeah, he was pretty short on options. He picks up the Hellfire, which is going to be very handy soon.
Yeah, and I will emphasize Amnesiac's deck is a lot more mid-range heavy than most Warlock control decks, so you quite often can just occupy the board and get on with it. But even so, it's worth bearing in mind. If Amnesiac tries a new thing out, it's worth everybody looking at that thing. Always interesting playing Zoo against Control. You've really got to feel the flow of the game, the pace of the game. You've got to make sure you're constantly putting down threats, and you've got to make sure you're constantly tapping.
Yeah.
Because you need more threats on turn 15. Games can go long, you can still win them.
Yeah. Running out of resources is less a fault of Zoo than it is in the other aggressive decks, but still something that does happen. Like, you'll get to the point where 2 resources per turn isn't enough.
Yeah, the trouble is, like you say, you have to play 2 per turn sometimes, so you need to start tapping before you need them. That's a Cairn.
That is a Cairn. Cairn into Bone Mare is a combination of cards we've been seeing in quite a few of these decks that typically also run Prince Kalaseth.
Now, this is interesting to me because Cairn says you're expecting Priest. And we know this guy didn't play Priest once, so I don't know if Pavel's researched his opponent much here.
Okay, but he wouldn't have known who he's against when he put the lineup together.
Oh, I thought they did the draw first, but I could well be wrong.
I don't think so, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to check up on that.
Yeah, we'll look into that for tomorrow for later. So Samdi using his minions just to basically get them out of his hand because the next few turns are very cluttery for him. And
for those of you that are unfamiliar with why Cairn is appearing in a deck like Zoo, 2 reasons. One is Priest, as Lorinda just said. The other reason is what you're about to see here. Combos very nicely into the Bone Mare turn.
Yeah, it's so hard to get rid of that Kern onto Cairn. I'll start calling Karen next, going into turn 6.
Well,
7.
You should have heard what Pavel called me earlier. Mispronunciation.
Oh no, they didn't get your name wrong, did they, Falcon?
Yeah.
Oh, siphoning this, they're going to kill it with the other stuff. This is a full clear, right?
Yeah, with the drain life it is. Yeah. Was that one drain life or drain soul? Which is which?
Yeah, one of those. Soul, I think.
It is drain soul. Yeah, my bad.
So Pavel's still not getting enough damage done, but that's a nice pickup. Going to enable him to continue the damage.
I hope you heard that. I really hope you heard that.
Every time we pause like that, it's because the Korean commentary has gone a little bit off the wall, and yeah, it certainly did then.
Hey-oh.
And we have no idea how much of this you can hear. We know you can hear us. We just don't know if you can hear the commentary next to us.
We hope you can hear us.
If you can't, then no, better not, in case you can. Anyway, that damage is going to the face. Is this lethal? We missed it. We're casters. We would never miss lethal.
It's close.
It's cutting down the taps. He can't tap now with that.
Gonna be lethal next turn, though. Gul'dan coming in. Not gonna do anything just yet.
No, but it does mean that Pavel now can think about the next turn.
Okay, so Voidwalker does prevent lethal, as we can see just. It would mean that Samdi's
Do you tap? Do you play Flame Imp? I think the answer is no and no, but I'm not sure.
Is he playing around Abyssal Enforcer? Is he playing around Hellfire? If he is, he just plays Void Caller, the Firefly, and the Flame Elemental, and then stops.
He's dead to Enforcer anyway, actually, right?
Abyssal Enforcer? No, the Void Walker's a 2/4.
Oh, good spot. I never draw killer sets, so I just assumed that they always have the right numbers on them. But yeah, he's playing around everything he can. He knew that was a lethal setup because last turn was weird.
Oh, that'll do it. Now the Abyssal Enforcer does clear the board.
Thought it did. And that's going to be 2-0 to Samdi.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, if you are not from Korea, you're from the rest
You know
of the
what?
world.
This is a fix. I'm starting to think this is a fix.
Well, earlier today we were saying it was a European lineup, but it is the rest of the world. America are included in this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not happy about this. If current world champion loses, we're going to have to rely on future world champions.
3 times apparently future world champion Orange. That's what he told us. But Pavel's not out of it yet. There's one more deck Samdi's got to find a win with, and it's going to be his mage. No, his mage is banned. It's going to be something else. His shaman.
Yes, that seems
which
right.
definitely can be a weak link.
Strange lineup so far from Samdi, but he has been killing with it. Can he get this full sweep? Now this has to be just Evolved Shaman, surely.
Well,
How strange can this be?
it says that he played Evolve and Devolve Shaman in the qualifiers. That to me just says Token Shaman.
Well, it actually
But
says
maybe there is some weirdness going on in it.
Evolve and Devolve Shaman? That's
Yeah.
a mouthful.
So we will have to wait and see. As you can see, the arena has been largely emptied out.
There are still a few people watching. I think they're staff.
Yeah, I think they're like people who are running stalls and stuff from other events.
It's the whole background is seeming pretty empty compared to how it was earlier. Earlier,
parts.
it was just a flood of people.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane in this place. I can't stress enough how amazing this convention is.
Okay. Hot Spring Guardian, Fire Elemental, Kalimos. What is this deck?
It's called Elemental Shaman.
Yeah? Yeah, you got me there.
A wise UK player once said when the cards were released, this is the best deck he's played for a long time. Ball control, you were wrong. This deck sucks.
Well, maybe Samdi will prove ball control right.
Maybe he will. Obviously, a lot of synergy in the Elementals, which is what made people really like it when it came to play. And it did dominate ladder for 2 to 3 weeks before people started realizing actually it's just too inconsistent. But it can still just kill people. I mean, you can definitely get rolling with some tempo and off you go. You just don't lose in those sometimes.
Pavel, however, clearly fed up of losing with the Warlock. He's gone with his Razakus Priest deck.
Yeah, I personally think this is the best deck in the game. I know Orange thinks it's the best deck in the game. And it's all about how you build it, which is the interesting part.
This is looking pretty standard so far. Obviously, orange and purple with the HCT Auctioneer version of the deck got quite popular. We don't know yet whether this one's Lyra or Auctioneer.
I've seen Crane running both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, really? In one deck?
I
Wow.
prefer Auctioneer by a long way, personally. But
This works, though. This is always a very nice combo.
it always is, yeah. This tends to win you the game on the spot. And this is actually goes back to a discussion we've been having, which is you can play the circle is just too powerful in the deck.
Yeah. We were
Which-
talking with the players about Pint-Sized Potion, Shadow Word
Yeah.
Horror, and how sometimes those cards get cut because individually Pint-Sized Potion is no good. But Circle of Healing, even without the Arcanine, we just saw the work it did
Yeah,
there.
there's a discussion to be had where you can just drop the Arcanine and keep the circle, but no one's quite got the bravery to just go with that. But sometimes someone will do that. They'll play the circle and drop the Arcanine. It'll look really weird when they do.
I believe it works in Silence Priest. They don't run Arcanine, but they do run Circle, so...
Can you behave? We're casting an event.
Sorry.
Falc. What did you get called again? Oh yeah, we can't broadcast.
We
that
can't, no.
But yeah, it sounded like Falcone, but we can't broadcast
But it didn't sound like Falcon.
Thanks, Pavel, for infinite memes.
Well, okay. I got really confused for a second then when I saw the Rathion, and then I realized Stonehill Defender. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Samdi is going to really struggle in this spot. Pavel already got a lot of the stuff that he needs. He'll hold back the Priest of Peace most likely when he works out what he's up against, which will be about last turn.
Yeah.
So that he can have a second wave of attacks. And he's just going to buy time and draw cards. And It just gets boring. I like casting Priest. I love playing Priest, but casting it, you just have to keep saying buy time, draw cards over and over again.
That's how the deck wins games. Sadly, there's no second circle of healing that Pavel can draw. Not that he'd have the hand space to play that.
So what we have to concentrate on is how he can maximize the drawing of cards and the buying of time. And one of the ways you do that is by holding onto Priest of the Feast until you're low on health.
Yep.
And then have your, if you haven't got your combo, have your last burst of looking for more cards whilst gaining 15 health.
Yep.
So that's a card he won't be playing soon.
Does need to be spending cards every turn. That was a mistake. Didn't get an attacking with the Novice Engineer there. Could have killed the healing totem with it.
And Pavel was complaining that he'd travelled, not complaining, he was explaining how tired he was due to a lot of travelling.
He was, yeah.
He wasn't actually, upset about the fact he has to travel. He quite understands how to get to places, involves moving.
Yeah, I mean, he, of all Hearthstone players, he'll be one of those that has actually traveled the most.
Yeah.
As he picks up this may be the first time I've ever seen 4 mana Hex.
Wow. Recent nerf. 6 weeks ago.
Wow, this is not a popular deck at the moment, so it's...
Everybody's got a 4 mana Hex suddenly.
How is Pavel going to get rid of this this Fire Elemental?
He's going to 4 mana Hex it.
Okay. Wait, what? You're talking about Polymorph? Or? Yeah, he's got the 4 mana Hex,
Yeah.
but I mean, is that actually good enough?
I don't know. It kills it. So...
Yeah, no, you're right. That's probably worth it. The only reason
I think he can just leave it, to be honest. Oh, he's actually going with the Priest of the Feast.
The reason I'm hesitating is because a Shadow of Death does kill it, but a Hex kills anything. So if there does end up being a minion that has 4 attack later on, Hex is more valuable to deal
Sure,
with that.
that makes a lot of sense. So he is actually going with the Priest of the Feast, which is interesting to me. Doesn't seem to really occupy the board. It doesn't really seem to gain you any health. It doesn't really seem to do much at all. Maybe he just doesn't value it and just wants, it's the card he values the least in his hand. He just wants to dump it. You can't dump Loot Hoarder. This is one of the problems you can get with this deck, is dumping some of the cards proves impossible because they draw you more cards.
Yep.
So maybe that was just forced.
You have to remember, Pavel will get to a point where he just wins the game. So although it looks like Samdi, he's got the board, he's in a good position, he's got a big hand, he can't survive just being beaten immediately.
So Dragonfire Loot Hoarder or Loot Hoarder then Dragonfire? Neither, just shoot things out the sky.
Okay. Raza and Valen, all Pavel really needs now.
Yeah. Save the Dragonfire for later. This is just not giving you any damage. He's under no threat at all. Are we going to get the potatoes?
The potatoes, the floating potatoes.
Yeah. Haven't seen them for a while. They were a bit of a meme for a while. People were getting very angry when the potatoes were getting killed.
It's not quite a Snow Flipper Penguin.
Not quite, but he's going to play it. He just doesn't know what yet. And Pavel's thinking, what is this? Especially now.
He might have an idea. He knows this is an elemental shaman by now.
I see why Pavel spends all his time looking at his opponent now. He wants to look anywhere but at the screen. He's like looking away, looking down. And I must admit, when I play, people used to ask me why I didn't spot that cards went yellow when they're comboed and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't spend a lot of time looking at the screen when I play.
Right.
I try and process in my head without the visual input.
Okay.
In before people say I should be watching the screen when I'm casting.
It's okay. You can continue staring lovingly at me. It's fine.
Okay.
The ping Dragonfire Potion seems like a very elegant way of getting rid of this board. Oh boy. All of that aggression that Samdi just built up. He needs a Servant of Calamus, really.
Yeah, it's interesting. Samdi needs a lot of stuff and he needs it now. Pavel needs 1 card. Just needs Raza and he wins.
That Volcano not going to do all that much for Samdi in this matchup.
Yeah, might do a bit more in the Zoom matchup if it gets that far. But Pavel looking good here. As long as, if Raza's like the bottom card, maybe that's a problem. But if it's not, he should be fine. He's got plenty of card draw. He can start rifling through his deck in a moment. Now he's dealt with a lot of the problems. And Samdi hasn't kept a lot back. He's gone for the biggest thing each turn.
He has. Now his hand is just full of not big things. There is a Bloodlust. That could be a kind of surprise secondary win condition.
Yeah, it really could.
Or at least a way of dealing a lot of damage. Now the Priest has lost his hero power and used up the Priest of the
Maybe the fact he went for the potatoes would be the giveaway, though.
True, true. Pavel just going to methodically, one at a time, get rid of these annoying minions.
Yeah, this is a good clear.
Yeah, Pain the 2-3, hero power the other 0-2, why not? You literally leave Samdi no tools to hit you with.
So Pavel's going to probably get to shoot his acolytes soon. This is nice from Samdi, denying a card. Nice work.
Oh, it's a Flame Imp as well. It still dies to a hero power.
This is the best roll you can get, except not against this deck. You'd rather have a 1-3, oddly enough. That's a nice pickup of Pavel. He doesn't need it to OTK or anything, most likely. He has got a fear there's going to be some more healing in this Shaman deck, though, so he may feel he needs to save it for later.
He doesn't need the smite for the OTK because with Raza and Anduin down, Mind Blast alone is 20 damage. Plus the other pings in the turn.
But
so
somebody might get to 30, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
He might heal back up, so...
Good point, good point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Normally you just dump it when your opponent's on 22. If it's a rogue,
Silence,
you just dump it.
silence would be 24, pint size would be 28. Yeah, we'd need... The smite would do it easily, especially with the Radiant Elemental there as well. Like Pavel has, with all of his tools, he has more than enough damage. He just needs to get those last vital combo pieces.
So he's just going to go for maximum cardage.
Oh, there's the
There is the
Raza.
Raza. And that is almost good night, except that Pavel just needs to make sure he's patient around any potential healing that Samdi may have. He also, I wouldn't put it past Pavel here to get Samdi kind of low and not kill him. Ah, Samdi's not having it.
Never mind.
I mean, if that happens to you on stream, you think you've been sniped. He hasn't seen the Raza yet, and he's conceded as soon as Pavel
Well,
drew it.
I guess he just realized that Pavel's drawn so many cards. He doesn't really have a win condition anymore. How does Pavel win? At that, sorry, how does Samdi win at that point?
Yeah, and he wins by... Pavel wins the match by seeing more cards. And Samdi just says, you know what? You're not seeing any more of this deck.
Yeah. It's,
I was just about to make the point that Pavel would try and eke it out a bit to make see more
Right.
cards. And Samdi had the same feeling of actually, I don't want him to see this deck. That's my chance as a meme. I'm going to go with meme. We've seen he hasn't played any of the main decks. Your strength lies in your surprise value.
outplayed by losing.
Outplayed by losing. Pavel down to Rogue and his Zoo.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, how are they going to line up against the Shaman? Let's think about this. We've talked about Shaman versus Zoo, but not Elemental Shaman versus Zoo. Now, I have to imagine that the Shaman has a very good chance against Zoo.
He's got plenty of board clears.
It's running Volcanoes, Storms, Maelstroms, Devolves. Should be able to put a stop.
Zoo hates AoE so much.
Yeah.
4 used to be the magic number. If you started dropping a Maelstrom or a Lightning Storm in the old Shaman, the Zoo started to become favoured again. And he's got more than 4 in this. He's got like loads.
Let's take a look.
Let's see what Pavel keeps as well. Because he may actually choose to keep some of this bigger stuff. I doubt he will, but he may keep the Cairn or something weird here. He's got to really think about what he wants to do, just because he knows the outlook of the deck. So he's just going to play sensible, or whatever you want to call it. Standard. Ladder Hearthstone.
Well, they're not playing wild, so...
Wow. I don't know, some of Samdi's stuff's pretty wild.
True. This is a disappointing start from Pavel here, who has not yet managed to get a win with this Warlock. This is his third game
this
with the
American
deck.
and European team just really struggling to take any matches off Korea. I do enjoy these show matches. Well, they're not show matches. There's a lot of money on the line. Let's not. But when it's country versus world, or country versus country, or region versus region, I really enjoy this style of Hearthstone from time to time.
It's something that clearly the Korean players have taken very, very seriously.
Yeah.
We are at the biggest gaming event in Korea.
For the year, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not just like this, the biggest event this
I mean,
month.
we saw
but-
adverts for this on the news last night.
Yeah.
Or on local news, or some news channel of some sort. There were adverts for this. It's going to be on the news
we
again
didn't, We
tonight.
didn't speak Korean. We didn't know what it was, but it is the biggest event, and it's going to be really serious to these locals who are pretty patriotic. Also, they've earned their place here.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, several times. Samdi has won 10 of his 11 qualifying matches. The first 5 were single elimination. The next were some sort of group that I can't fathom. But it was a big, wide group of stuff where you could lose a match or two.
And that's not to say that the Westerners haven't earned their place here.
Right.
But they've earned their place here through very, very indirect means, being successful in other places. This individual tournament,
Right.
the glory of it isn't going to mean quite so much to them.
No, I agree entirely with that. The Koreans have already played so much rounds of qualifying. There must have been a lot of players wanting to get into this. And like you say, the rest of the world were invited to show what the Koreans can do to them. The Koreans so far are making a mincemeat out of them all. Just waiting for Surrender to walk past from the Planet Odd side to the Korea side.
As we were talking earlier, debating whether or not he's supporting his fellow Koreans or his team. Well, both of his team are out, so
To be fair, it was fairly clear who's supporting his team.
it was. Yeah.
Planet Odd. Getting it done a lot this year. The signing of Hoy, Zixo and Surrender. Absolutely massive for that team. They've done so well since. Zixo the only one who hasn't got to a massive event this season.
So Samdi not seeming to know what he wants to do here. The Hot Spring Guardian is okay. The taunt doesn't really do all that much. We get a Lightning Storm to get rid of that Malcazar's imp. He's playing around the Doomguard synergy.
So next turn he hasn't got a lot to do. So why not overload now, I think is his reasoning. Because going into turn 7 he's going to want that Blaze Caller online. And next turn's kind of my hand's kind of poor, so let's just get on with it.
True.
So all that's cost him, really, apart from a little bit of a light Lightning Storm, is 1 tap.
The Despicable Dreadlord was irritating, clearing up the remainder of Samdi's board there. And Pavel's board, this onslaught's just going to continue. I wonder how effective these volcanoes are going to be. 15 damage sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's not enough at all if there's more than about 17 health on the board.
Right, but there's going to be approaching 15 health. It's going to be like 14 if Pavel dumps the other 1-2 on the board. 12.
It is then, yeah.
So the Volcano's going to get a chunk of its value.
Are we playing Volcano? Maybe Samdi decides to go with Blaze Cooler. Gets rid of the 3-5, then he
Got
keep
a clear
Volcano
going
next
into
turn.
turn
but-
7, I think.
Of course,
The
the
rule
bow,
of playing against Hearthstone in tempo decks right now.
Yeah. Flame Elemental instead of the Hero Power. Now that is quite obvious. That is quite obvious that it's setting up for a Blaze Caller, or at least a Servant of Calamos, or Calamos
Yeah,
himself.
he knows something's coming, which means he won't be expecting Volcano number 2 when it arrives. This will be the Blaze Caller.
Yeah. There we
well,
go. That's even
Yeah,
better.
Servant's even better. Just start the chain going.
Ugh. I guess Halazeel's okay.
Halazir with Volcano in hand, yeah, seems good.
Oh, it's just heal for 15 and probably kill your own minion.
Right. Does Pavel make any trades? I don't know if he can. And how much does he value Soulfire Doomsayer as 9 to face? How do you even begin to evaluate that? You have to work out the chance that it discards a Doomsayer. The chance that
Doomguard.
Sorry. Why am I saying Doomsayer?
Doomsayer is...
We've seen a lot more Doomsayers than Doomguards today.
we have.
Haven't actually. We've seen a lot of Doomguards.
They do very different things.
They do. One blows up the board and one blows up the opponent.
Yep.
But yeah, I wonder how he's valuing that in his head in terms of damage to face.
Oh, the Devolve's frustrating here. Bone Mare probably gets a buff. The Saonite Chain Gangs probably get a buff. It's only really the 5-2 that loses stats.
He's saving onto this Volcano. It would do 14. It would be
It
a
would.
good time in terms of damage, but you would lose your elemental chain.
Yeah, and also that's both Volcanoes used up. It means Pavel would have to stop playing around them. Blaze Caller doesn't feel good enough because it kills the 5-5 and then dies really easily to the rest of the board.
Yeah.
What if he played Blaze Caller and then devolved? Like, get rid of the Bone Myth first, then make the rest of the board, well, most of the rest of the board weaker.
Although, like you say, the chain gangs are still going to be 3s.
So
Still 6 or 7 attack you're going to be facing down.
the chain gang probably stays about the same as where they are. Maybe on average gets a very slight
Yeah,
buff.
slight buff, I'd say. You have to do something. Whatever his instinct says is what he'll do. Interesting. I'm not sure what he's saving the devolve for. Okay. It's going to be a pretty brutal turn, most likely, here from Pavel. He can, if he wants, put 10 into the face. I don't think he'll want to do that, but got to work out his best way to trade. You don't really want to lose 2 minions into 6/6, but
He can potentially put 19 into the face.
yeah, sure. That's counting a lot. I think you tap.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think there's any chain of moves where you don't.
Pavel thinks otherwise.
Disagrees. He's going to try and discard the pirate. Doesn't discard the pirate.
Spoilers from the move to the left.
And it's because the Doomguard stopped glowing. That's how they knew.
So picking up the Gul'dan's very important.
Yeah.
And even more important, the Doomguard's gone now. If that had been in play and the Doomguard and the Gul'dan blah blah. But ifs and buts.
Pretty frustrating for Pavel, though he is still looking reasonably ahead.
Yeah, he's looking okay. Not had that many demons this game,
He hasn't, you're right.
but I don't think you can mess around. I think you just play the Gul'dan and get on with it before you draw another discard card.
Start draining your opponent's soul over and over again.
Samdi's actually stopped talking to himself the last few turns. He's actually realizing he can actually beat, did I say actually enough times? Beat Pavel, the reigning world champion. And I think he's actually started to take it. Not that he wasn't taking it seriously before, but suddenly it's like super serious business.
Did he start losing since he stopped talking to himself?
Yes.
Oh. Come on, Samdi, get excited.
You need the voices, man.
Get animated. There's the devolve. What happens to the chain gangs? One gets nerfed, one gets buffed. A significant buff. 2-3 to 3-5.
Yeah, that is pretty significant.
Volatile Elemental's very strong as well, actually, here.
Pavel just needs to
He can
work out his ordering.
He can clear the board very easily. He has to trade the 3-5 into one of the 2-3s. Then he puts the Owl into the 2-3, puts the Volatile Elemental in, and then Snowflipper Penguin finishes off the 4-4. It's there's multiple different ways he can do it. Like, he can obviously sequence these sort of trades any way around.
And by tapping, he's going to get an extra Void Walker back from his Gul'dan. But the Gul'dan is going to be a turn late. This board is very precarious. It's not a fun board for Pavel at all. But he feels he needs resources. He can't just mess around with Gul'dan and never tap again. That's how he sees it. I think I really want the Volcano here if I'm Samdi, but he's trying to keep the chain going.
Yeah, and also he may want to keep the Volcano for Gul'dan.
Yeah.
That's 4 damage at least going into the face right now. He's going to want to clear the Blaze Caller if possible. I think we start by tapping, or you trade in the Void Walker and then play Gul'dan.
Yeah, which way, which way? Just still nothing fantastic to get back for Pavel. That's the trouble. I think he needs his hero power to win this game. That seems to imply he doesn't think that.
You think he wants the current hero power to win the game? Or the...
I mean, he wants them both. That's the problem, right? But yeah, I feel like he felt he wanted the current one, but getting back enough.
Oh!
It's more than I thought.
It is more than I thought as
now.
well. I forgot about the Foul Guard.
Yeah, same.
Oh my goodness.
And I actually forgot he'd seen both Flame Imps, if I'm honest, as well.
The Devolve synergy, though.
Sure. Yeah, I thought he was only one Flame Imp. So, definitely better than I thought. And like you said, he saved this Volcano for now, but it doesn't clear everything. And Pavel in a good spot-ish.
Good spot-ish, indeed. Getting rid of that elemental is awkward.
This is where we look at Samdi's deck and ask why there's a Bloodlust in it, by the way.
Right.
See, we know why, because it can catch your opponent off guard, and Pavel still hasn't seen it.
It's a dead card.
And even if it goes to 2-2, Samdi will have it for the next game.
Yeah.
And if Pavel hasn't seen it, Samdi can just kill him by surprise.
Yeah, Samdi just draws Kalamos and then wins in 2 turns,
But
potentially.
he would like that to be anything in the whole world apart from being a Bloodlust right now. It just does nothing.
Okay, so Pavel can trade in the 1-1, ping the 4-5, and then Despicable Dreadlord's ability will do the rest of the work. That means the Dreadlord can hit the face. I think that's the way we're going here. Or are we hitting everything into the face?
Everything to face puts it down to 8, but leaves up the Dreadlord. The Dreadlord's just, not the Dreadlord, the 4-5.
Yeah. Serving the
It's going
Kalamos.
to be too dangerous, I think. You just get rid of it. Let your councilman do the work. This is a very important shot from here from Samdi. Earth Elemental would be good.
The value game being played at the moment. The Lich King.
The
Is
Lich King.
Is that too slow?
Um,
It is too slow, yeah. Well, he could take it in Hex, I guess. He's also got a taunt up. I mean, the Lich King is a win condition.
I mean, he needs to fill his hand up with something as well. Of course, at the moment, his hand isn't going anywhere fast.
Veclor is much worse. That's never a consideration.
Sure.
It's the Squirming Tentacle, but I still think it's the Lich King.
Yeah. And it is the Lich King. Right, I think Pavel might need to pick something good up, like a Doom Guard. This is not the Doom
He has 7 damage able to go face here.
It's ticking up.
That's over half.
It's well over half. It's, well, one. You know, one's a lot.
That's well over half.
Right, Lich King is going to be a nuisance. But with no healing and a taunt already in the way, can Pavel just defend and shoot him in the face?
Well, he needs Death Coil from it. Death Coil allows him to gain 5 health.
Ah. And he has got health gain in here. We've seen it earlier. So
Is it Death Coil? Is that the one?
I'm just going with what you say.
This is the part where I hate that the client isn't Korean.
We are in Korea though, so it's fair enough.
Yeah. That's not the one.
That's the other one that does 3
And
damage
that's
to
going to
all
be
things.
lethal. Pavel takes his second win. We are going all the way to game number 5. Current world champion still has his foot in the door.
Shaman versus Rogue. We don't know what the Rogue is, but I'm going to bet that he's got some Bone Mares and a Keleseth. Actually, no. It might not have a Keleseth. He's going to have Bone Mares. It'll probably have Keleseth and a bunch of minions in between. Because I'm brave like that.
I very much doubt Pavel's playing Miracle Rogue. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I should think that he isn't. Some people do play Eviscerate in that spot, but not many. I've never seen you do well, so I don't see why it should. But Eviscerate is an option. But I think I'm just expecting to see Pavel doesn't seem to deviate much in his deck building. I'll imagine it to be Keleseth and Bone Mares and stuff. Where he deviates is in how he plays decks sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
He has very interesting ideas on how to start games of Hearthstone.
But he is one of these guys that will just play the best decks, and he'll win with the best decks a lot.
Yeah.
But it looks like we are just about ready to jump into game number 5 of your 3rd series today.
Very straightforward, normal-looking Rogue, and we've already seen this, and you can see Samdi's getting nervous, but also he's picked up that Crawler, and he's very happy about that. He's going to be even happier about it with his start from Pavel.
Lots of pirates from Pavel there. He's going to actually do what we suggested. I forget which player it was earlier.
It was Soldar B.
Yeah.
He played Keleseth and Captain in his hand and still played
Swashbuckler
Pirate.
first, yeah, which he got rewarded for against Ixo. But Pavel not going to make the same, we can say, mistake.
I think he hits in here, so next turn he can possibly play the Pirate and kill it on the Firefly, so he doesn't have to leave a Pirate up.
Well, he's got a good turn coming up with the Edwin as well. I think we're going Coin Pirate Edwin.
Have you got 4 mana Hex to deal with my 3 mana thing that needs hexing every time on turn 2?
If Pavel picks up a Shadow Step here, it might be worth it. Yeah, extra Swashbuckler card, bigger Edwin. Oh, okay. We're going to be seeing the Shadow Blade from Pavel there. Something that some players have been experimenting with recently.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. I'm not convinced by it, but I'm hard to convince. I need convincing about new cards.
I think it's Board Control that's been playing. I forget the name of the card, but it's the 4 mana 5/3 that means that your weapon does not lose durability on your own turn.
Yeah. So they play the two together.
Yeah. Shadow Blade, you play Deadly Poisons. I don't think that's what Pavel's playing here, though.
Might be. He'll come to me in a minute. Maybe. Meanwhile, Samdi doesn't have much going on here until next turn, but next turn the Servants are going to start making things interesting.
Voodoo Hexa is something we do not see very often at all from Shaman. It's one of these cards that I think people looked at when it was first revealed and said, oh, that card looks really good. It's like Water Elemental, but better. But it's not.
But it's... I mean, meta's changed how cards function.
Prince Valinor, something that's not unheard of in Rogue.
It's not, although I think it's regarded as kind of poor by a lot of people. Pavel does disagree.
Well, that's sort of irritating. An 11-mana card that you will not be able to play unless he somehow steals an Overload card.
Yeah, that's pretty good self-defense there from the Shaman. Just, yeah, have one of these. He's still got coin.
He does, but
I don't think you save it till turn 10
well,
just to play
it
a
doesn't
bad
work.
giant.
Doesn't work regardless. You cannot gain over 10 mana.
Which is also true. Can't you spend one of them and then spend the other 10 on the same minion?
On the same minion? No.
No.
I don't know what
the
game.
one's on different parts of the casting cost.
I don't know what game you're playing, Lorinda. That's not Hearthstone.
I think you need to ask what rank, not what game. All right, so Samdi's hand is kind of bad, but this will improve it. Probably. Not the best selection of gubbins he'll ever see.
No, the Frost Elemental can be okay, though.
Yeah, sometimes sneaks into decks. In fact, I'm surprised it hasn't sneaked into any decks recently with the tempo format we've been in.
Which deck am I thinking of that it did sneak into? I think it was Reno Lock just before the latest rotation. I think that's
It was
the deck.
definitely Warlock, and Hoy played it a lot.
I think it was Reno Lock, yeah.
So it was probably Reno for those two reasons.
Evolve is interesting. May be actually good here. He can Hero Power, get rid of the Tar Creeper, heal up both of his minions by evolving them.
Yeah, get rid of your pirates by evolving them.
Yeah, you can play Deckhand, pull out the patches,
And your Swashbuckler.
and then evolve, and also play Edwin after that.
Yeah, it's a case of whether he's keeping the pirates for some sort of synergy thing, or if he just wants to get rid of them because of crabs.
This seems like a good swing turn to me. It really does. 1, 2. Oh no! Okay, gonna go fast fine. Okay, and evolve that. That's good too.
Yeah, turning a 3/4 into something that's about a 6/6. That'll do.
Okay, that's fair. Two minions that
Samdi, yeah.
2 minions that had 1 health just got turned into much bigger minions, and there's spell damage on the board now.
Yeah, Samdi not at all happy with this.
I meant to be the one Darwining your minions, said Samdi. What is it with the Snow Fury? Is it Snow Fury Giant? What is it with that card at the moment? It's popping up
Everywhere.
everywhere, much to Pavel's detriment.
Yeah, it's really annoying for him. And
Ooh, that's not annoying.
that gives him lots of options.
So we got Swash, Shadow Step, Swash, Deckhand, Edwin.
How suspicious is Pavel of Bloodlust? He shouldn't be at all suspicious. He's not seen it in either game, but he
No.
did see that Kalimos take potatoes earlier.
Calamus Potatoes, the Fireflies going pretty wide on the board right now. I don't think it's something you like hard play around, but you at least play around it to the extent where it doesn't win the game, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. So he is going to finally feed the crab.
He's really holding on to that Edwin for a very long time.
Yeah, Edwin's kind of a trap sometimes. That if you try too hard to make a huge Edwin and you're not using the cards naturally, you can just win a game, don't get me wrong. Turn 3, 10-10, you win a game. But sometimes if you're not backstabbing a thing and if you're just randomly shadow stepping, you sometimes waste resources significantly more than you feel.
I hadn't realized quite how much damage Pavel was dealing here. The fact that he can actually put Samdi down to 13 already. He's going to choose to make the trade, but that makes a lot of sense. You've left pretty much just trash left on Samdi's board.
Yeah, the other thing with Edwin, of course, is the hex, by the way, just as I mumbled that at the end there. If you make it too big, it gets hexed. You've just wasted resources.
Yeah.
But yeah, this damage is coming thick and fast ever since that evolve. And Pavel desperately trying to keep Europe in this.
He
So
is.
I think he's doing well. By whether I switch between rest of the world or Europe, it is technically the rest of the world. Korea versus the world.
It is, but they are all European players, it has to be said. There is a reason for that, it has to be said.
Yeah, they invited the best players. That'll be why.
All right, let's smooth on by
Moving
that.
swiftly on.
Before we get hate.
If Samdi wins, I'm quite happy to call it rest of the world again.
Okay. The rest of the world being orange.
Yeah, orange will be the entire world. The world doesn't even have a suitcase.
Korea versus orange. Without his suitcase.
Oh my goodness.
Korea just taking every advantage they can get.
Yes.
Stealing his suitcase.
Okay. Now
Anyways,
it's my turn to move swiftly on.
there is a game of Hearthstone going on before our eyes. That
Not
is a
for much
Leroy
longer, though.
Jenkins. That's 12 damage coming very, very
He
soon.
can hit lethal with this. That's not it though.
What's lethal with that?
Leroy next turn with Shadow Step and some damage.
Oh, next turn, sure.
He can be Dagger, I guess, but I assumed he was going to put it into the
Well,
Thanos.
Leroy Shadow Step Leroy is still 8 mana, so it is going to take everything next turn for that.
Maybe just drop a Cairn here. I think you want to kill off a minion just because.
I'm wondering if you just Shadow Blade and hit the face, because that does set up the lethal.
I think we're now at the stage where Pavel will play around every card in Hearthstone.
Okay.
So I think he will play around Bloodlust now out of good practice,
Yep.
not because he thinks it's there.
Another thing to consider is maybe it's correct to Shadow Step the Swashbuckler. Maybe it's not correct to save that for Leroy.
Shadow Step's a really hard card to
Yeah.
play in this deck.
It really is.
I don't think Rogue's particularly difficult as a deck, but the Shadow Step is definitely misplayed a lot by a lot of players. Yeah, and he is going over the blade. Presumably
Win as
therefore
well?
the Edwin.
Yeah, okay. Just creating the bulkiest board possible. He has set up lethal for next turn, but Samdi does have several ways to prevent that. He's got the Hexa, the 5 mana 2/7 taunt. He's got the Frost Elemental, though that does not prevent Leroy.
How does he win this game, though?
Samdi?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't win it anytime soon, but how does he win in the long run?
He's got Hot Spring Guardian somewhere milling around his deck. Cards like that will be helpful. Kalamos obviously can heal him by, I think, 12. He just has to out-survive.
So yeah, he
Pavel.
can play survival mode with the cards you just listed. So that's going to be his strat. It's just not die. There are things he can get into. You can't play around Leroy Shadow Step either unless you really got a great hand, which he hasn't. So he's got to sort of... We may see him take a chance. He doesn't have to. And that's going to be it. There's no taunt. And there's 8
Pavel,
mana.
finally, Pavel takes game number 3, defeating the super rookie, which still feels unfair. Samdi put up a great fight against Pavel, but we have our first rest of the world player in the semi-finals.
Samdi, for like 1 second there, sort of looked really angry, and then he just went back into the same persona he's had the entire time. That's how streamers work.
And Pavel's just like, yeah, what did you expect?
Yeah. Pretty impressive stuff there from Pavel. Bit of a wry smile there. I think he thought he might have lost that at some point. Samdi, obviously upset about it, but he's going to be on streaming again. And I think the super rookie tag is because of the decks, not because of the play.
Yeah, I agree. We've had a lot of fun watching. They were very, very successful. It was only that final deck that Samdi couldn't get the win with, sadly. But there you go. We have our first player from the West through to the semi-finals. But we have one more series coming up today, and it's going to be a good one.
I think this is the biggest series of the day. It's easy to say that when there's one left. I'm trying to get people to watch, but I said it at the start of the day. Kranich versus Orange, one guy who's already been to BlizzCon, one guy who's going to the World Championships very soon.
One guy who won BlizzCon.
Yeah, not only has he been to BlizzCon twice for the World Championships, but then he won it single-handedly in the event this time around. And Orange,
with Pathra and
who
with
first
teammates.
time of asking qualified.
Yeah, right.
That's key. Orange didn't really do much HCT stuff until recently, concentrating more on the indie circuit, more concentrating on getting better. But his first attempt straight through to the World Championships, so that's going to be a great match coming up.
Huge game coming up after this small break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.